Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for today's live. Today's is going to be a very special interview between Donald Trump and Elon Musk on X. So we are joining here to watch it together. And if you're on YouTube, there's a live chat, so you can make your, put in your comments, your reaction, whatever you want to say, because we are poor freedom, meaning we're not going to censor anybody, we're not going to kick anybody out or delete any comments, right, Thomas?
That's correct. You got something to
Yeah,
say? Let's say it. Try to be
yes. So,
respectful.
that's right.
I mean,
So
we do still
so
have to maintain some standard.
right. So the talk of the town today is Trump is back on X. Since what is it? The January 6th incident. That was 2000. What is it? 2020, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So at the time, Elon Musk does not own X yet, and Elon Musk revised Trump and some of other influencer who got canceled on X back into Twitter, quote unquote X. Yeah. So what's your thoughts on the censorship? Anyone who's watching, please put your comments. What are your thoughts on censorship? Because for me personally, I believe we should have a speech free of speech. We should express our emotions, our thoughts. We not unless you're really harming somebody, or you are violent, try to put a harm and or try to be violent towards someone, then yes, we have to stop that. But if we just want to make a comment, make a point, make a point of view, make a perception, or we should have the right to do so. Not to follow like the political agenda that, oh, you're not following my agenda, so we're gonna cancel you, right? So what's your thought on the censorship, Thomas?
Censorship and policing walk a fine line. My point of view. Yes, I don't believe in censorship. As far as people wanting to make a statement, make a point, but it always comes down to, at the end of the day, it always comes down to whose feelings got hurt by what you said. And that's when policing starts to overreach. And like
Yes.
with a lot of platforms, they can't censor, they can't review every single post or statement or whatnot or response for to make sure that so if there's a human making sure it's adequate. A lot of that stuff is digitally done through the server. So a lot of times when you get
Right.
canceled or censored or something, it's because somebody complained because they didn't like what you said.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, I hate to say this, but especially when it comes to anybody that's riding the woke train, it's always how it was said and not what was said.
Yeah.
And that
And
really irritates me, because I'm like, if you can't have a discussion, how can you claim free speech and non-censorship? Because
yeah,
today is because today it's this group. Tomorrow it'll be your group. Next week it'll be another group.
right.
That when we start playing the little nuances and stuff, it messes everything up. And now you're doing like this, like they censored Donald Trump for January 6th. Well, I get it. You don't like Donald Trump because of his past, because a lot of things he said. But at the same time, I'm like, I get it. But at the same time, until he actually breaks the law and does
Mm-hmm.
something, he's the same as every other American. And you got
True.
to give him, and you have to give him that right. Because if you don't give him that right, why should you expect anybody else to give it to you?
Yes.
And
Very
and
true.
too many people have forgotten that.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. And another censorship, besides well, it's kind of related to political, it's the COVID. Even today, 2024, we still have censorship over COVID that, people express, oh, the vaccine is injure people, whoever takes the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Myself, my content is very controversial these days, and I post on TikTok. There's a lot of bans on TikTok on my TikTok because of that reason. And it's
Yeah.
funny that go ahead. Yeah.
No. I was gonna say let's take half steps about the COVID thing because there are so many. There's so many left and rights on that.
Yeah.
Even when it was going on, a big deal, there was so much that was said, so much that wasn't said. Like I took the vaccines,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Right.
looked at both of the popular versions of the vaccine and
Mm-hmm.
how it was made, what they said it was, and this and that. And then I made my decision on which one to take
Yeah.
and whatnot. And I'm not going to go into which one that was because we don't want to bog this down on that issue right now. We can go have we can do a whole nother train on that.
Right.
But
But
on that one is I made my decision by looking at who was doing it, what it was, how it was made, and then also on the political front, who's really promoting what and why. Because a lot of people forget. There is a reason a lot of your politicians promote the shit they do. There's a
mhm.
reason they take a lot of positions they do. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like Donald Trump is because he takes positions that a lot of minorities don't find beneficial to them or helpful. And he said a lot of things in the past, and he's done a lot of things in the past to show a proof of character that they can't believe in. And a lot of white people believe in him because he ain't done that shit to them. I don't care what anybody says. At the end of the day, that's the main reason why. One and two, they want to be like him. Three, he talks to them. He doesn't talk. And this is the big thing that a lot of politicians have forgotten how to do. They don't talk to their voting base. They talk around them. They talk over them. And Kamala Harris, if you paying attention, you see this, you should really pay attention. Forget all that fake stuff you're doing. All that jargon you learn to talk so you can get a job as a DA and do all that. Forget all that stuff. You better go back to your roots and talk to these people for real.
Yeah.
Since you threw your
And
head, yeah, because since she threw her ring in her hat in the ring, she can't run this. She can't run this shit like they've always done. So I'll be the first one to tell them, woman, you ain't gonna never be Michelle Obama. I don't care what anybody say. You ain't gonna
yes,
never be a Michelle Obama.
yeah, you are right. I am again 100% agree with you with the vaccine. It should be a pro-choice, not forcing, not put a stop. If you're not taking it, then you're a bad person, like that.
Yeah,
And
and
as
that's the
far
thing that really burnt them on
yeah,
that was they tried to force people to take it.
right. And as far as Kamala Harris, that's another issue because to as I'm sure everybody agree that she did not get the vote to become the front runner, correct? And they just put her into the spot and kind of
She
like
shooting her shot. She's in the
yeah,
position.
right.
She's seeing an opportunity. The Democratic Party seeing an opportunity. And they're shooting
Hmm.
their shot. However, in light of Donald Trump coming back and running, if I'll be honest with you, in light of Donald Trump coming back and running and knowing what the fervor he's going to bring, the level of competition he's going to bring for votes,
Remember that nothing worth doing
I
is
would
ever
not.
easy.
I would
You'll
never
have bad
afford
moments.
Kamala Harris.
You got to
I
love
would
what
like,
you're
no, we're
doing.
gonna move
And if
you
you
back
don't,
to your
just do
state.
something.
You're gonna be the leading senator, and you keep yourself abreast of everything, stay involved and whatnot, or and while you're doing that, go do your due diligence to show and politically that you are 1,000 times more competent than Hillary Clinton was when she did that shit. That's why she never ran for president after going back and becoming a senator of New York, because everybody's like, ew, what is that? That's exactly how it was. I wish I had a clip of that brother doing that, because I'd be like, hey, brother, what is that? No, this is it's because people can forget you're a politician. Once you get to a certain level, it's like a 60-40. You got to talk to the people, know how to woo them, get them to go and vote. You can't talk to them like you can't talk to them like they're investors. You can't talk to them like, no, you can't talk over them. You can't talk around them. You definitely don't want to talk like they don't really understand what's going on and you know better, because you're trying to get somebody to, it's like when you're trying to get somebody to spend money for you, you're going to talk down to them? No.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward for this the so-called interview. I don't know how it's gonna go down. Some people suspect it's gonna be a audio format only, because I believe
Yeah,
X does not have the video. I don't know. So somebody is talking about that, and
I
there's
don't
a
know what they're
and
going to
then
do. That when you mentioned
besides
it, I was shocked.
yeah besides that whole thing we're just talking about, there's a letter came from the Europe trying to stop this live broadcast from happening. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I did a quick search and I saw a couple things
Mm.
about that, and I'm like, why not? I'm like, first of all, I'm real like leery on that. To me, that sounds like a outright propaganda ploy. I'm leery on that because I'm really like this. I don't see why the European Union would even bother, because
I
one, they
know,
know their
right?
opinion doesn't mean jack.
What-
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? They know their opinion doesn't mean jack. I figure if it came from anybody, it probably came from somebody who thought they had more clout than they really do. And they're
Yeah,
trying to.
and then also based on how Elon Musk is, I don't think it's gonna affect him as well, right?
Yeah,
He will
especially
just like last.
yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm like, especially I'd be like, hey, I would never even send Elon Musk a stupid letter like that, because I know for a fact he'd be like, "Go fuck yourself." Oh,
That's
you know
what
what
he
I'm
said.
saying?
That's what he said last time to Disney. Remember? So
Yeah. He said that. He said that to more than just Disney. He's told a lot of people that. And I'm like, you got to remember, Elon's got FU money. You know what I'm saying? I don't have FU money, but I guarantee you, if I did have FU money, everybody would know my nickname that my buddies, friends from high school kind of knew me as. Like,
mm.
and some people in the Navy knew too. But I used to drop the F bombs like nobody's business back in the day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had to learn how to not do that anymore. In a regular conversation,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't even know I was doing it. You talk to somebody that's F this, F that. You know what an effing mean? And they're looking at you like, after a while, they're not listening to what you're saying. They're just trying to count how many times you said that one word. You're like, okay. But
Yeah.
it's like
So
anybody would be like that. Anybody that's got FU money, they know for a fact they get FU money. And they're going to tell you, you start going like coming at them sideways, they're going to tell you, they'll tell you where to go stick your head.
This episode is brought to you by Kitcaster.
Kitcaster books you on top podcasts. How do funded startup founders attract prospects and talent? Podcast interviews. How do entrepreneurs with exits find new deals? Podcast interviews. How do C-suite execs differentiate in crowded markets? Podcast interviews. Kitcaster books you on top podcasts. Click the link in the show notes for a special offer. Celebrate good conversation.
Yeah, so I still again same thing. I don't know what's wrong with that European letter is about. And maybe somebody just want to get a 5 second fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it more sounds like somebody looking for their 15 minutes of fame or 15 seconds.
15 and 5 seconds. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it
it
sounds
sounds
like that.
exactly like that because it's one of those things you're just like, I don't see where you actually think,
It's gonna make
you're
any
doing
difference.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, I live in LA. I put it like this: I live in LA. I know for a fact how 15 seconds will change your life. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact how 15 seconds will change your life. I see people like you live here too. I know you've seen it over the years. How people act when they think they're gonna get their 15 seconds or they trying to get their 15 seconds. You've seen what they do and how they act. It's like, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I seen people that you would have sworn up and down, oh, they'd never do something like that. I've known them for 20 years. I've known that person since we were in third grade. Would never do something like that. 2 minutes later, they get in their 15 seconds, and you're like, he said, what? He did
yeah.
what? She said,
So I want to ask you a quick question because we have about 10 minutes. So
yes.
Kanye West, we all know Kanye West. He seems like a big supporter of Donald Trump even since his first term, right? And then recently, I believe about a year ago, he started coming out and not just talk about Trump, but talk about Jewish people, and he got censored. He got canceled, right? Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious to know, in your point of view, what do you think? Does he deserve to get censored? Does he deserve to get canceled? You know.
Oh, you trying to see if you can get your show censored, huh?
No.
Hey,
Yeah, I
I'll put it
mean,
to you like this. You know exactly how the Jews are when it comes to entertainment, and anybody saying anything about Jews negative.
yeah.
We don't care if it was right or wrong or shoulda, woulda, coulda, because we know the truth about most of the accusations and what's been going on, what will happen. But we see their actions, and that's all I need. That's all I need to see. I see their actions. Every time something comes up, every time something happens, I see their actions. I see the stance they take. And I have my own personal opinion about it. But this is your show, and I'm not trying to cause you fight.
It's okay. I'm the one asking you, right?
Oh,
So.
I know. But I'm like, you don't need, in my opinion, you don't need that kind of smoke. There's a lot of kind of smoke you can catch and make entertainment. You don't need that kind of smoke right now.
Okay. Sure. Understood.
Huh?
I say I understood. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now,
So we have about 5 minutes or so. So I just want to also point out, since we're on the censorship topic, another one is about 2 weeks ago, last 2 weeks, we've been doing live about Olympic Games. So it seems like
yeah,
I
the
got
IOC.
I got two 2 or 3 videos got taken down because of Olympic. I'm showing the ceremony openings. We're showing what's the other one? The one that's the boxers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really think that's really strange. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I do, but the legal advice I got on that was we need to get with a real specialist on it to go over it, because it's a lot of. It's like it's one of those areas you don't learn about till you start jumping till you jump into that end of the pool. There's a lot of gray area in there. And sometimes some people don't want to fight the gray area. They just go with it and let somebody else fight that fight. Like YouTube not choosing to fight the IOC because they don't want stress with the IOC over, broadcasts for any other stuff. But the IOC's got to remember the IOC doesn't produce the Olympics. The IOC doesn't. They don't produce the Olympics. They don't produce some media for the Olympics. They coordinate it. They coordinate everybody doing everything. They bring everything together, and they're a governing body for competition.
Right.
So they may have claimed rights to certain things, but it can easily be contested in any country because they have to. Any of that stuff for the IOC can be easily contested because it's not like the NFL. Nobody's paying to be a part of the IOC. They may start that, but it doesn't matter because anybody can come around tomorrow, create a new kind of Olympic venue, whatever, and totally crush the IOC. Yeah. The IOC doesn't want that kind of smoke because it's just that nobody contests them because they're like, nobody really wants that. Nobody wants to have that kind of fight. But at the end of the day, any country, they don't have to have that kind of fight. And that's the thing that really the IOC needs to learn. Any country can be like, you know what? Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? You are not the Olympics. You are not the end all be all. You're just you're just the people doing it now. I'm tired of your mess. I'm tired of you messing with my citizenry. Go screw yourself.
Yeah, I was just shocking that they are so sensitive and take down those videos, and we're not like sharing something, share something really secretly. We're just kind of repost what everybody posts.
Well, the IOC in a way has to, because the IOC knows for a fact they can't get jack without none of those networks broadcasting the Olympics. They ain't gonna be nothing. They ain't gonna be nobody. They know for a fact they ain't gonna never be anybody without the network. But they know they can cut everybody else off from trying to share their opinion.
Right.
Because especially if it shows the IOC in a negative light. And if I was the IOC, I would be like, you should really stay away from any kind of woke anything. Anytime you go to a country, it should be only about the verifiable traditional makeup, values, traditions of that country. You should never show anything else.
Are you talking
if you do want to show some people that are
you talking about China?
You have them doing that patriotic shit too.
I was teasing you. I said, "Are you talking about China?" No, I'm joking. I'm the one talking about China. When you go to certain country, you have to follow their culture. You have to follow this and that.
Oh yeah, China does that. China does that stuff because China thinks China's the shit. China doesn't know that China was better off before they jumped headlong into the global market. In a way, they were better off.
That was in the 80s, before the 90s. They were close.
Yeah, because they had true control over their country then. But once they jumped into the global market, they just gave up control in the way that they were used to with the political party, the Communist political party being the ultimate power.
I really believe what happened is they still have the control inside China, but they open the market. So the economy, the market is considered capitalism, but the
Hmm.
inside, the politic, the control with the
Yeah, they
citizen is
tried that, and
still communist structure.
what's their
Yeah,
leader's name? Uh,
Xi Jinping right now.
yeah, they tried that, and when Xi Jinping was coming into, when he was taking control of everything and coming into power,
Hmm.
and this has been talked about. I'm not making this up, but this has been talked about. It's been discussed.
Right.
You can find these discussions elsewhere. But the thing is, when he was coming in control and taking power, he eliminated, up to this day, all
Hmm.
opposition. Not only did he eliminate all opposition, he eliminated a lot of necessary support, to really do stuff. So now it's like, I don't know if it's still at that point, but now it's at the point where he's a leader with subordinates that are basically afraid to come and bring him bad news when
Hmm.
when something goes wrong.
Right. Yeah.
You can't lead nothing if your subordinates are afraid to bring you bad news. You're literally a train wreck right waiting to happen at that point.
Hmm.
And all this stuff with their economy, which is now doing
Yeah.
a freaking barrel roll somersault. Nobody knows how it's going to survive because, like I said, when you have that kind of leadership that eliminates people because they're not doing it the way, they're not making it happen the way you wanted to make it happen.
Hmm.
Well, those that can leave.
Yeah.
And they
Agree.
set up ways to manage stuff, keep managing stuff so the money comes in. But as long as they physically aren't there you go. They're good. And
Yeah.
what's he gonna do?
Talk about money. They are probably gonna dump US dollar, go
They
with
have
the
no
brick.
choice. They have no
Go with
choice right now.
brick.
I know tons of politicians are trying to have backdoor talks with them all the friggin' time, trying to get them to not drop the dollar because they
Hmm.
own so much of the debt and their
Yeah.
own what's it, yuan? Chinese currency is the
Yeah.
yuan.
Yes. Okay. I think
Uh,
the interview is started. So let's hear the
yeah,
interview.
let's go there.